Hello everyone and welcome to a great match between two players who in Division 1 always meet somehow in the group stage. And usually, like if you look at these two names, you would think Gonzo, Shkodder not having quite the results, like always being in Division 1 but usually on the lower end, and Gonzo always should have an easy time. But somehow, Gonzo always loses a map to Shkodder in the previous seasons. Question is, will it be the same way this time? Or will Gonzo 2-0 this time? Or maybe Shkodder even brings a complete destruction of the Gonzo and gets the 2-0 victory. We will figure out today if the 1-1 will come back or if Shkodder can make it even better. First map will be Panzerlair versus Verteidigungsbereich Toulon. A super interesting match. Maverick on the good old Shkodder. But before we go in here, you gotta make a shout out to how you can support the Steel Division League yourself. Yes, you out there on the monitors, without having to pay anything yourself. You don't have to pay a single cent. All you have to do is go to the Matcherino page and click the claim code button. On YouTube you can find it down below. In Twitch chat you only have to click the link that is popping up magically right now and click that claim code button. 5 codes still remaining, so come on, let's do this, guy. Let's get the last $1.25 free money in here. And then also, big thanks to all the new people who contributed directly. Soap, Herr Robert, Peter Riley, 50, and AD. Getting us really close to the next stretch goal, which is at $200. We are at only $10 away now. And at $200, the winners of Division 2, 3, 4, and 5 also will get a small cut of the prize pool. And then the next goal is 300. And the really important one, basically, guys, is 400. Because then you can force me to play Korik for a whole live stream that I also will upload to YouTube of me suffering and going closer to insanity. At least 5 hours. I will try to keep it up longer of just playing Korik in ranked. So, yeah, if you want to see that, get it to $500. But yeah, let's have a look on the leaderboard and let's see how important this game is for Shkodder. Gonzo can make sure that he is first place with a single map win here, basically. But for Shkodder, basically needs at least a draw, but more likely a win here to have a chance of still making it to the semifinals. And also wants to stay above Quadro U for who gets relegated next season. Or maybe even cares, can still fall down there. So pretty important game for Shkodder. And yep, with that said, let's jump right back in. And here we go. Pumas on one side against the good old fraction, bringing in the 47mm of the Italian army used by the Germans that speed towards you and then unload quite early so that they can zone out your transport vehicles. Pretty strong unit, for sure. But what else is there that these two players will bring around? So down in the south, we see some guerrillas, we see some Panzer III leaders. Big support setup in general in the south for tank division. Usually you would imagine it, the tank division trying to force this lane down here, which is usually one of the most fought over terrains on Shkodder, this road section over here, that also can be controlled from the hills around, but also has an impact who can push the other one's hills. But Gonzo is going for the town. On the other side, really little going into the town here for Shkodder, at least from up here. Yeah, big assault onto the hill in the center. A lot of forces going into the north as well. Only 3 units for the whole south, and these units are not even that impressive. 147mm and 2 Sicherungs. At least the ME410 will spot what's going on. Okay, I was wrong. It's not actually that big of a force for Gonzo in the center, in the south. It looked like all of these would help out here as well. Most of them actually going to the center, but still quite a lot more forces for Gonzo in the south. 2 Panzer Grenadiers, 2 Sturm Pioneers, and 3 armored vehicles. Whilst in the north, Gonzo only having 4 infantry units and 3 armored vehicles against 3 MGs, 2 anti-tank guns, 1 IG, 1 Flak 41. So a lot of support weapons and 4 infantry units coming in there. And in the middle we have Maros coming in from the get-go. but Pumas will try to snipe them. Marder in the rear though could do the counter sniping. But these units have to be careful to not get sniped by the Puma. ME410 should spot it in time, but these Maros will have a rough time here crossing the open. Not unloading just yet, and the first of them already falling. Pumas keep on reloading. Shkodder doesn't want to unload here. Takes the risk, loses 2 vehicles with 2 shots. Puma with 2-star veterancy, really accurate. And that's not a great start for Shkodder at all. Really good positioning there from Gonzo. And once more showing his experience with that play. Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzungen and Kriegsmarine Pioneers coming in the north versus 2 Flamers and a Pioneer. Meanwhile, the 47mm trying to kill off a Puma over here. But in the center now, with fewer infantry, Shkodder will have a bit of a harder time capturing this. Marder though at least gets the revenge on the Puma, but Puma is cheaper than 2 of the infantry units it killed off, as both of these are 30 points, so that's 60 points versus 45 points, so still a solid trade for Gonzo. Meanwhile down here, 47mm now opening up fire. ME410 keeps an eye on everything down there. So, interesting start here. Gonzo not pushing in himself, not realizing how much of an advantage he got down there. And Puma falls to the 47mm. Second 47mm not coming around to help out though. So this most likely won't win against the Panzer III. Nope, will go down here. Black 41 and IG-33 though, helping out on the hill. Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung doing some good damage as well. Being leveled up by the Grenadier Führer. Also coming in with fanatical trait, so can't be surrendered by the Flamers in the forest. Meanwhile, over here, Pioneers running into the Maros. Maros need to disengage, don't want to eat the TNT. Good micro there by Shkodder. Gonzo disengages as well. TNTs fly in both directions, but Shkodder does get the disengage. So, eats less damage from the TNT itself, but both down to 4 hit points, as the Pioneers start with more hit points from the get-go. Meanwhile, a Marder to counter the Marder in the center. Marder 1 and Marder 3, not too different. Both boast the Pak 40, but one has 20, one has 50mm frontal armor. I think they also are separated by speed a bit. Marder 3M a bit faster. So, in general, slightly better vehicle for the same price. Not really impactful in the direct matchup. Every hit should be a penetration. Sicherungs here getting sniped by the Panzer III H. Bit unlucky there by Shkodder. That's not the highest accuracy vehicle. Second Sicherung can get out before it gets hit. Meanwhile, Panzer Grenadiers running into Maro. Not a great experience for them. They can't use their MG42 on the short ranges, whilst the Maro is the highest DPS infantry unit out there. So, you really don't want to do that like this. When it comes to gun firepower, nothing beats the Maro at 150 meters and below. Obviously TNT and so on can kill them still, but when it just comes to pure firepower, the Maro is king. Even higher than the Moskaya Otto with 12 Thompsons. Guerrilla setting up on the hill. Can fire into the town if need be. As the Spewagen 234/1 comes around. Black 41 in the north. Sitting around. Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung getting hit by Panzer III and Spewagen 234/1. Getting forced back. Gonzo keeps the pressure on. So far, a relatively equal game when it comes to kills and traits. Focke-Wulf flies around. Is a danger for the ME410, but the Flak 41 should be able to keep it safe. Has to return home now. Focke-Wulf might try its best. Nope. Gonzo keeps it in bay. Keeps it back. Brings in a 20mm, towing a 20mm. So double 20mm coming up for Gonzo in the north. Whilst the Stuk 3G is trying to bring some heavy armored support for Shkodder on the hill. Best tank in his arsenal. Whilst the Sicherungs can't really engage Panzer Grenadiers on the longer ranges. Panzer Grenadiers of Panzerlehr, obviously one of their special units, as they cost the same as normal Panzer Grenadiers, but instead of a Panzerfaust or nothing, they bring in a Panzerschreck, so they bring in a really good anti-tank weapon on their normal infantry. Though against Toulon, that's not too relevant, as they really have few armored vehicles in general. Meanwhile over here, the half-track goes down, but the Guerrilla is aiming at the 47mm, and the 47mm won't survive that for long. There we go. Goes down. Next one to replace it already on the way, but Gonzo having a big advantage and now starting to push it here in the south. Focke-Wulf once more coming around, trying to shoot down the ME410, but the Flak 41 is around. BF109 with bombs coming in as well. 20mm a bit too far in the rear to stop them from dropping their bombs. Should also not be able to get the kill on the way out. So good bombing hits here for Shkodder. Might allow Shkodder to get back on this hill. Brings in another Maro force here. So the forests will be tough to beat for Gonzo, but the south looks open. So from our point of view, obviously easy to identify. Not quite as easy from Gonzo's perspective. But by now there's a lot of forces here for Gonzo. 3 autocannons, 1 tank, 1 gorilla, 4 infantry units against 2 infantry units and a puny anti-tank gun. Now the Sicherungs coming up, but that's not gonna shift the balance too much. At least the Sicherungs with their Granatbüchse 39 are a danger for the Spähwagens though, if they get too close, as they deal 5 damage per shot and have 60mm of penetration. Not the best rate of fire for an anti-tank gun, or for an anti-tank rifle, but if they hit hard, so you need to be careful around them. Marder 1 disengaged from the Marder 3. Will most likely get the kill on the half-track here. Yes, it does. 12-12 is on, as Shkodder has captured the north, but lost a flag in the south. Losing another one now. Gonzo goes for the first time up to 13-11. Interesting game here for sure. Both sides getting closer and closer. 47mm. Hitting the half-track here. 234/1 gets down. SDKFZ 251/1 also goes down. Okay. 12-12 is on here. Ooh, half-track gets... No, infantry gets shot at here. As this also brings some HE shells. And with the high rate of fire, yes, the HE shells don't do too much damage, but thanks to the high rate of fire, they actually are able to take 3 out of the hit points off the Panzergrenadier. And now Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung come in. So the south gets heavily entrenched now by Shkodder. IG-33 and a mech coming in to help out as well. Another Marder 1. Another Marder 1 coming in the north. And Shkodder having a good advantage in the north right now. Kills the 20mm AA vehicle. And now the Panzer 3 is in a tough position as well. Not the best penetration chances against the Stuk, whilst the Stuk obviously with every hit will penetrate. Panzer 3H trying to move up. Stuk trying to stay in the spot where it can hit them. And the 47mm will now join in from the side. Can the Stuk get another shot off? Yes, it can. Gets the first kill. More Panzer 3s are on the way, and the Marder is the dangerous thing. The Marder is the one thing that the Stuk will die to easily, and the Marder plus Panzer 3 combo does the job. Stuk down, so that's a good kill. Only one Marder on Shkodder's side coming in now, and there's still a lot of armored vehicles on Gonzo's side. More AT guns coming up though. Shkodder entrenching the north as well. And the IG-33 is in a sweet spot. Able to shoot down the road. 234/1 getting hit. ME410 getting hit as well. Kuma chilling around here, getting shots onto the Marder. Marder instantly goes down. Good kill for Gonzo. Really powerful and really important. IG-33 also could get hit by the Gorilla, which would not be amazing for Shkodder either. And Zed can die pretty quickly to that as well and can't retaliate too easily. Another AAP is coming in for Gonzo, so the ME410 will have a tougher time staying around as well. It's the Marder that first engages here. And that is also too close to the IG-33. IG-33 will be able to do some good damage here. Gorilla coming up though, and that HE shell is a lot more dangerous than the one of the Marder 3M. And it takes out the Gorilla, the IG-33 already. BF109's coming in. 20mm is around. Doesn't get enough damage onto it in time though. But Marder also doesn't get killed off. BF109 down here also hitting a bit. But the 20mm will force them back in time. 47mm and IG-33 now engaging on the Panzer 3N. Marder helping out as well. Marder needs to be careful. Gets the bailout instantaneously though. 2 Panzer 3s already dying. Panzer 3s in general in the north not too successful for Gonzo. like doing an okay job, but I would say in general not quite cost efficient. So Shkodder still up on the 1311, but the trades here lately were pretty good for Gonzo. Killing off the Martyr, killing off the IG, taking away the long range fire support for Shkodder into the town. And killing off the Stook in the north also quite key, because there are not that many around for Gonzo. You can only take them in A, and you only got one card of normal Stooks and then one card of Stook leaders. Both seem to be in the deck of Shkodder, as we see the Stook leader card here now as well. But you run out of armored vehicles relatively quickly with Toulon. So then you have to rely on your normal guns. And they are relatively easy taken out by good Krilla micro or by artillery. Let's more and more infantry come in for Shkodder. A department where he for sure outclasses Gonzo's deck by a good margin. Especially when it comes to infantry variety. You have way more specialized infantry units around than you get in Panzerlehr, where you basically only get Panzer Grenadiers. Yeah, your Panzer Grenadiers are slightly better than normal Panzer Grenadiers, but if you need some CQC specialists, or you need some higher firepower long-range squadrons, or you need some trash infantry, you don't quite have the options there. Like, you don't have anything like the Kriegsmann and Bootsbesatzung with 3 MGs, or the Maros that just annihilate anything in CQC, or the Sicherungs, which are great at holding, or the Kriegsmarine infantry, which are just cheap spam. Stuff variety that you don't get access to. But obviously, on the other hand, you get more armored vehicles. And one of these that is really unique, and that is one of Gonzo's all-time favorites, is the Borgward 4. A unique unit within Steel Division. The only unit where you wanna have it die. As when it destructs itself, it blows up with a lot of TNT power, and it can take out city blocks pretty easily, and it is on the way to doing so here. Can the Sicherungs stop it? Nope. So the Borgward will come around. Sicherungs now get the kill, but that means that the Borgward still explodes and gets the kill. It's basically functionally identical to the Baneling in StarCraft, the real-life Baneling. You don't want to have this thing dying next to you, as it is a great suicide charge tool. 25 points only, took out 2 infantry units that were more expensive than that, for sure, and is coming in for another charge. Pak 36 here, trying to hit enemy units. As soon as you kill off 2 infantry units with these, from a point effectiveness perspective, they already paid off. Obviously not super card efficient, otherwise they would be kind of broken. You don't get too many of them, but for example, trading them against the Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung already is a 10-point victory when it comes to cost efficiency. So we'll see what this Borgward number 2 can do. Even the Grenadier Führer would be an even trade. And Borgward is around. Grenadier Führer revealed himself. Ooh, Borgward just runs through though. If you can kill it from distance, it obviously is rather inefficient. And the worst thing that can happen, and that happens sometimes to less experienced players, is this thing dying within your own units. If this thing gets blown up next to 2 half-tracks with Panzer Grenadiers inside, that's the worst thing that can happen to you. Because unlike Banelings in StarCraft, these things have friendly fire. Thing that explodes in Steel Division explodes for both sides. Meanwhile, over here, Kriegsmarine infantry gets pushed back. A cheap 20-point spam infantry. But Pak 36 tries to help out, at least getting a kill on the Martyr. Not quite getting the finish there. Sicherungs using their Granatbüchse to get the kill onto the half-track, allowing the Maros to move forward a bit as well. Giving Shkodder the 1410. So Gonzo a bit on the back foot here right now. But Borgward is on the hunt. Oh my god, can it kill the Flak 41? That would be quite insane. But Flak 41 has a big lack of vision here. Has a bit of a dead space. Can the Borgward do the job? Brandenburgers being pushed back. Panthers and Krillis, also dangerous combo down in the south. Flak 40 trying to get into a spot where it can maybe get a kill on one of them. Another Flak 38 105mm coming up. You kind of want to kill the Krilla, I guess, then, with the Pak 40, and then try to eliminate the Panther with the big 105mm gun. Pretty powerful AT piece as well. So it obviously has the issues of AA, like dual purpose AA, that it has a bit lower accuracy than main AT guns, and that it also gets more damage from infantry source, or from ground sources when it comes to stress and damage. Okay, Flak 41 gets the kill here. Gorilla tries to stun down the Flak 41 from outside of its range, so that needs to disengage a bit. Awkward still chilling around here. 12-12 is back on. Shkodder in the lead. We are going into the last couple of minutes of B phase. The last couple of minutes where both of these players get a lot of points. Pack 40 tries to shoot the Panther now. Will get in transmission damage. Flak 41 is around, so Focke-Wulf might not have as an easy time to get its rockets off. Will still get the Panther D though, and that's all it kind of needs here. Flak 38 needs to be considerate of where to unload. Naval Werfer 42 around as well, but shooting from too far away. Gonzo not bringing it into the right position, so all the rockets of the Naval Werfer miss. You want to shoot that from closer up. Maybe from over here it would have had a better chance of hitting. Flak 41 will disengage with all hit points still on it. Gorilla didn't do any damage, Naval Werfer didn't do any damage, but more Borgwards coming around. The other Borgward though got spotted by the Sicherungs, and the Granatbüchse once more paying off there for Shkodder, getting the kill. Really close game here. Both sides being caught in a nice back and forth. AA here should make these bombers a bit less efficient than usual. Beywagen gets hit, but not too hard. Second BF-109 gets a hit on the Gorilla, not a kill though. But in the north, Shkodder is in control. But Gonzo is setting up a bit of a counter push. 3 Panzer Grenadiers coming in. Panzer 3s and Marder still around. No Gorilla though for long range HE damage. Beywagen engaging some Kriegsmarine infantry here. Another Stuk moving up. And Gorilla and Panzer 3 not great against that Stuk. Meanwhile, 3 more Borgwards running in. And these could really break the back of Shkodder's defense in the town. 3 of them exploding around the infantry here is nice. And the reinforcement road currently cut off by that SPW. So that's quite nasty for Shkodder. Can't really reinforce the town easily at the moment. JO-88 trying to come in. Trying to push back this Beywagen with bombs. Gonzo, as always, fast on the reaction. Trying to disengage there with this Beywagen. Will get killed off though. Gorilla and Panzer 3H on the retreat. Another Panther coming up though. So, more big boys in the south. Gonzo on the 1311. Borgwards coming in. First one explodes. Gets the Kriegsmarine boats, but that's nearly gets the Grenadier Führer as well. And these 2 Kriegsmarine infantries are also in trouble. IG-33 on the way. Stuk on its way into a good position. 12-12 going on for now. But Pioneers coming up for the surrenders. Only 1 Brandenburger left in this regiment. So there's not much they can do here. First Borgward goes down. Takes the second with it though. Not enough spacing there by Gonzo between the Borgwards. So not cost efficient with them anymore. The first 2 blow-ups were nice. The one over here also was decent. But 1 20-point units taking 50 points of units out there. Not quite the same. So Gonzo not super successful with that. Still ripping a hole in the enemy's defenses though. As the reinforcements slowly coming in, but only slowly. And we are about to hit C phase, where income for both sides will go down heavily as well. And Gonzo out for the counterattack in the center. Panzer Grenadiers holding the mid and long ranges. Maros can't engage directly there. Well, on these Panzer Grenadiers, they might want to do so. Marder 1 coming up. No anti-tank too close, but a Pak 36 on the other edge of the hill at least should stop any Panzer 3H from popping out and trying to get any more shots off. Whilst more units are being called in to the south. Gorilla getting a good shot on the IG-33. Surviving the flak hit here. But will get another shot, and that one does do the job. Flak 38 though, now under fire by the Flak 41 and the Panther. Panther under fire gets instantly killed here. Flak 38 deals 10 damage with its AP shell. Okay. That's quite impressive. Now hits the Flak 41. Gets hit. But I guess the Panther already took some damage elsewhere, because I think Panthers... Do Panthers have 12 hit points, right? Flak 41 here. Trying to force back the Focke-Wulf. Focke-Wulf, though, still doing some good strafing damage, but will pay for it with its life. Will pay for it dearly. Good kill there by Shkodder, good reaction. Flak 38 for now is still alive. Stuk is covering its retreat. So in general, still a win here for Shkodder for sure. 12-12 is on. Town is in shambles though. Pak 40 and Kriegsmarine Infantry are up. Has no easy counter for the half-track spam here. Sicherungs trying their best, but it's only one of them at the moment. Getting some good damage there and once more. Another half-track receiving a good hit there from this Sicherungs. Bouncing on the other one, a bit unlucky with its high penetration AT rifle. Meanwhile, Stuk trying to cover the south as good as possible. Well, it's the mortar half-tracks coming in. Another Borgward, but the infantry, as I said, in this town, currently the issue. Not able to reinforce it in time. Sicherungs getting another half-track kills. Really efficient here in general. But Puma and Marder also shutting down the bridge over here. Kriegsmarine Infantry not being able to go as deep as wanted. Zwillings 37mm in the north coming around. But the south is getting out of hand here. Shkodder under heavy pressure. So will need to advance maybe in the north. Will need to create a counter push. And that's always not that easy for too long. Once you get pushed out of your positions and you run out of armored support, pushing with this division is not an easy task. Flak 41 engages the Flak 38. Flak 38 with the slightly better HE shell. But supported by the mortar, I would say the Flak 41 should win, and it does in the end. Nebelwerfer aiming up on the position up here. Yes. And Shkodder under such heavy pressure now. Pak 40 gets this Baywagen. More infantry coming in the north. Puma doing a good job. Pak 40 trying its best to stop the other half-track as well. But the Nebelwerfer could be nasty. Pak 40 and Flak 41 here really close to each other. 13-11 here for Gonzo. Shkodder on the tick. Still having the slight point advantage. But that might change soon. As the Flak 41 goes down, Pak 40 goes down. Nebelwerfer 42 can be such a beast. And it once more showed its prowess there. Ju-88 getting under AA fire here. Well, it's up on the hill. Pioneers and Panzerschrecks pushing in into the infantry of Shkodder, and no long-range firepower here. Without the air, that gets negated by Gonzo pretty well. I don't see how Shkodder can push here at the moment. 59 now for Gonzo, and this won't be easy. Has to call in the Focke-Wulf AT for the half-track, but at least here it will get a safe run and a safe kill to close this gap, so not the worst idea here to ensure that you get these flags back relatively quickly. Stop the 59 take. But everything else here will be tough. Second Nebelwerfer coming around, Stuk under heavy fire. That might break the south completely. And the Stuk most likely will go down. Unless Shkodder is lucky here. Nope. Stuk 3G goes down. 13-11 for Gonzo. Set up for a push in the north, coming around here for Shkodder. But as I said, it won't be easy. A lot of AA around. Okay, off-map on the hill could be nice. 20mm already firing onto the off-map plane though. Will it get one shot off? Nope. And it will most likely die here before it gets a salvo off. And that's huge. That is really huge. It actually survives. But it didn't get a shot off yet. Luck 38 here under heavy fire. Infantry coming in for Shkodder, trying to overrun the north. As I said, that's kind of what he needs to do whilst losing the south. Losing 2 units here in transports, I think. But will get out. MG42 support as well, and a tank gun on the hill. Flak 38 already going down. Panzer Grenadiers in CQC not that great. So should be overwhelmed there as well. BF-109 goes down to the AA in the center though. Next Nebelwerfer battery coming in on all the infantry in here. Pretty brutal as well. Gets a lot of kills there. And Gonzo is in a sweet spot now, I would say, for a counterattack. SDKFZ at least here goes down. Like, Shkodder is getting some nice trades in the north. But the naval warfare doing a lot of damage here. Naval warfare in the south also quite brutal. Mortar fire coming in. Continuously firing down here in the south. Marder 1 might get hit. But Gonzo is in a leading position now. Maro gets surrendered. Half-track goes down. Pensacondias though can move forward. 13-11. Getting really close to getting more, and the south is completely zoned out for Shkodder. Coming back into this town is not an option. So you need to take flags around here. And that is quite hard, especially after that latest naval warfare battery. And there's all the naval warfare still around. This is not off map. As long as Gonzo has supplies, these naval warfares will come around eventually and hit you again. So Shkodder has to be super careful. We have 109 trying to come in for the pioneers. AA will try its best to hit it, not being too successful, so at least the airplay for Shkodder is still doing something. More pioneers coming in as well. AA setup is good in the north, but will this be enough? I fear it won't be. Kriegsmarine pioneers trying to come around. Will hit the pioneers of Gonzo. Gonzo in a pretty good spot. Southern play really good. Like that one trade where he lost the Panther and the Gorilla was a bit nasty. Didn't quite get the trades he wanted there. But he kept the pressure up. And he kept the reinforcements out of this town. This position over here also great. And eventually he was able to overwhelm Shkodder here completely. While Shkodder was not quite able to do the same to Gonzo in the north. And that's how we currently have the 13-11 for Gonzo. Black in the center might fall again though. Not super much holding it right now. But naval warfares are still around. We still have 22 minutes for these things to pay off. No artillery whatsoever for Shkodder. So in the long run, tech here might be better for Gonzo. Unless Shkodder somehow can kill all the AA off on the other side. That might be an option, but the AA is pretty deep in the rear. And without artillery and without tanks, I'm not quite sure how Shkodder should manage to do that. So this will be tough in the long run. Still slightly ahead, but still getting ticked as well by Gonzo. Black 41 hitting the ME410, getting some good shots off. And the ME410 has to fall back. The KFZ here. Hitting the Kriegsmarine. No anti-tank around anymore. The naval warfare did a good job killing that off. Another Pak 40 coming up, but not around yet. And the infantry in the north is dying for Shkodder. So this position is a tough one. South completely zoned out. Really good setup here by Gonzo all around. With some frontal units to absorb the shock, to scout any incoming forces of Shkodder, and then some really good deep defense here. Naval warfares around. AA in the rear as well. Some tanks for the flank ambush and the cover. Some really good infantry all around town that anything that enters this open field is gonna die there if it's a soft target. And vehicles also can't really come in because of all the panzer shreks. So really solid defensive setup there by Gonzo. Well established. Something that you can't break if you don't have masses of bombers or masses of artillery. And the bombers are there, but not quite in the number. And artillery is completely void on the side of Shkodder. Nothing there to be brought in. Marder 3M. Hitting the MG34. Pak 40. In a good spot again. Gets some kills here. Shkodder holds the 12-12. But it's like Gonzo doesn't need much more of a 13-11. I don't see Shkodder ever taking more than these two flags. Like these two flags in the rear seem to be really hard to take with the armored advantage that Gonzo has. So Shkodder basically can't allow a single tick on either of these flags for the rest of the game. And that's still 20 minutes to go. Off map coming in. Maybe he somehow can break the north. Maybe if Gonzo slips up a bit, that could be happening as both sides only get 80 points of income. And lately all the reinforcements of Gonzo have gone in here. So that's the big scenario that like the one big chance. Okay, that off map was a bit on the wrong spot, I guess. In general, no super important spot here to hit with off map though. Okay, Shkodder decides on this road. Will lose this AR 196 possibly though, as it's going towards the 20 millimeters. One doesn't have good angle, and it will get out in time. Okay, but the 1311 is ticking again, as the northern flag has been retaken by Gonzo, and Gonzo now is ahead of Shkodder. So Shkodder needs to take Gonzo eventually here to come back. Brings in a big artillery park. Okay, wow, Shkodder has a lot of points. Guess he didn't quite know what to get. Okay, so 5 artillery guns coming in, 2 SK-18s, 3 105mm French guns. That might help, but maybe it comes too late. SK-18s get out. Artillery will hit the martyr. Okay, concentrated artillery set up now. I wonder why they come in so late. Like, I think a bit more constant artillery could have been helpful in killing off the AA. And if you kill off the AA, you are in a good spot. What is he trying to hit now? Trying to counter-battery the Nebelwerfers. Okay. As I said, I would say try to go for the AA, as you have the air advantage, and then try to kill off Gonzo with that. And make the open field a killing zone for your planes, in which the enemy can't hide. So for that you might have too little time by now as well. And Gonzo also is pushing in deeper, is trying to go for the 59, trying to find the double tick that then will tick down Shkodder faster. Artillery now trying its best, but Nebelwerfer still got a battery off. And they're so far in the rear that your artillery is relatively inaccurate, and Shkodder surrenders here. So game number 1 will go to Gonzo. As you can see, KD somewhat close, though Gonzo still ahead. But these two for sure had an interesting match. Was somewhat on the edge for a while. Interesting units also used. Always love these two meeting each other. Like, the Borgwart's obviously pretty cool. The placement of some infantry units and so on of Shkodder also pretty nice. The big Flak 38 with the 105mm. Good play in the air by Shkodder as well, killing off the fighter. But Gonzo just with immaculate combined arms. Really good setup there with the Panzer. Obviously takes a while to get online, but once it's online, it's hard to beat. And yeah, recovering from the loss of the Panther and the Griller in the south also pretty well. Didn't allow Shkodder to get back into the town. And yeah, rightfully wins game number 1. So Shkodder has to get it back in game number 2, so that I'm right with my prediction. We will see if we can do it. I would say there is a chance for it, but Gonzo looks strong at the moment again. Like, Gonzo always looks strong, but currently he looks really in shape, I must say. So I'm a bit worried that my prediction might not be right, but we will figure it out together. And I see you all in a minute. And don't forget to follow if you are new here, or subscribe on YouTube, so you get more. Gonzo versus Shkodder, game number 2. And it's an interesting matchup, as we are on Haroshaya now. And Haroshaya is a map for off-maps. And our player on the right, for sure, has a good amount of them, as Shkodder is bringing around the first Lovash, the Hungarians, whilst on the left side, Gonzo is bringing around a division that we don't see quite as often as you might suppose they would be, as we're getting Task Force Butler, the one Western Allied division that everyone gets with the base game. And it's a pretty interesting mix of American and French equipment. American and French equipment with good firepower. The M10s of theirs have 2000-meter range thanks to the APCRs, so some nice stuff there as well. Their Shermans are the A1 models, sadly, so only 90 instead of 100 frontal armor, which makes them even killable for the Tyran 2s. Otherwise, the normal A3s usually not that easy to penetrate for the Tyrans, but Tyran still has to get in range, obviously, and the Shermans easily kill the Tyrans, well, like at least penetrate them easily. Now that Tyrans have 10 hit points, they will still need 2 penetrations to get the kill. And Rifles coming in good numbers. Rifles being good infantry. Rifle leader joining in with them as well. What's on the other side? Really good infantry on the mid-ranges coming in as well. Bujarok, Golyorsk. Pretty good for town fights. Not as amazing for forest fights, as they don't quite have the CQC, but neither has Gonzo's infantry. So, in the infantry department, both pretty equal. And yeah, we have more off-maps on the right, we have better armor on the left. Air-wise, it's a bit of spam, but also really good AA versus decent AA, but also really good air tap on Gonzo's side. And then, when it comes to artillery, Gonzo's division brings around radio mortars, brings around long toms, so has some good artillery for the battlefield itself as well. But on the other side, you have some really solid big guns with low rush. But against long toms, I don't know if you want to bring them around, as long toms are pretty good at counter batterying. So the 149mm, not sure if you want to bring them. And then you otherwise get some small puny guns, but they are not too important here, and you rather take the off map, I would guess, on this map. Shkodder going up to 1410 from the get-go, as Gonzo doesn't cover this flag, and loses the northern hill that you usually lose as well. But in the south, both are in defensive setups, and in the center, action does ensue. M8 versus Tyrann. Needs 2 penetrations against the Tyrann. Tyrann only needs 1 penetration on the other side, and it gets it. M8 bites the dust. So, good first blood here for Shkodder. 1410 is on. Hujaroks and Hujarok Goliors coming into the forest over here. Engineers try to mirror them. Try to get into that forest as well. And get a TNT lobbed onto top of them. Sherman versus Toldy 2 should be an uneven fight in favor of the Sherman. Toldy 2 shouldn't stand a chance there, so the Toldy does have to disengage if it doesn't want to die. Meanwhile, center is silent, down in the south. No big action on yet, but we have a great AA piece coming in from over here. The Nimrod is on the way. Nimrod has a great AA capability, because it's the only like 40 or 37mm piece still in the game that is on the old 16% accuracy. So it's the best mid-sized AA piece in the game, because accuracy is one of the most important stats for AA pieces, and it has the highest, so it deals a lot of damage to planes. You don't want to stick around Nimrods at all. The rifle lates here, getting the Hujar Golyosk pinned down. They might have to disengage. Marauder is coming in, not close to the Nimrod though. Comes in for the northern part. 450 kilogram bombs will do some damage. Sherman got the kill on the Toldy there as well, so Shkodder most likely will be pushed out of this section of the map. Still up to the 1311 thanks to this flag, but rifle lates will correct that as well. So back to a 12-12. No major point loss here for Gonzo in general, but slight advantage when it comes to that for Shkodder. Engineers also pinned down by the bomber, so the Hujaroks will take a bit longer till they will get surrendered, I guess. And 4A1 might want to try that. Hujaroks now a bit confused in which direction to run. Now disengaging away from the engineers. Can the engineers get unpinned in time to get the surrender? It seems like it. Yeah, Hujaroks get surrendered there. The others and the Goliorsk still alive though. And a Panzerschreck coming in here as well. With the Turda DLC, we will also get the Hungarian version of their anti-tank launcher, anti-tank rocket launcher, which is more of a copy, or like a mix of the bazooka, like closer to bazooka than to the Panzerschreck, but like a kind of a mix of both. So really looking forward to that in Turda as well, having the Hungarians' own version of this. But now we will get an off-map around here. 210mm AA off-map coming in. No plane coming in from the side of Gonzo, but 2 AA pieces still might get close to getting the kill. Though the one in the rear doesn't have veterancy, so I would expect, yeah, Focke-Wulf will get out alive. Good turn rate, good turn decision there by Shkodder, not going too deep. And the off-map is on a sweet spot. Gonzo will have a tough time keeping his forces in this town up after this off-map. Rifle lates in the south though, at least will give some coverage. And one of the Shermans should be outside of the box as well. But other than that, it's pretty solid off-map. One of the Tyrann 2s went down though, so it would be a 1v1 versus the Sherman and the Tyrann if it goes up there, which wouldn't be easy. More Tyrann 1s on the way in the rear. Whilst Gonzo is reinforcing the north. Pushed back the Hujar Golyorsk out of this here as well. Sherman gets the surrender. Panzerschreck tries to come around. Engineers haven't spotted them. That would be a good kill. 12-12 is back. Tyrants in numbers coming up from the rear. Off map forces a lot of Gonzo's forces back. No follow-up so far by Shkodder though. Tyran 2 here. Moving to the south. Leg gets taken by Shkodder over here. Rifle Lates will have to abandon these buildings. Or at least the one with line of sight to the outside. So that they don't get eaten up by the Tyran 2. Whilst another Sherman comes in from the rear. Panzerschreck here got spotted for a second by the engineers. And once more gets seen, gets killed off. So will not find the kill on any of the armored vehicles of Gonzo. Good defense of the northern part by Gonzo in general. So now Shkodder's focus is completely in the center. No aggressive forces in the north left. No aggressive setup in the south either. So it seems to be all coming down to this here, for now. Tyran 1's coming in. Will engage some infantry. Oh no, actually will engage the... Yeah, will engage the M4A1. But on this range it shouldn't have any chance of penetration. Ujaroks come in around here. 5 tanks versus 3 tanks. And on these ranges the Tyrans can be pretty good. One of the reasons why Lovash is a good division on this map. They have good infantry for the town, and they also have decent tanks for these engagement ranges here. So 1311 is ticking. Good infantry, good off-map, and decent tanks for fighting inside these boxes that exist on this map. Outside, obviously, not quite as good. You still have some longer ranges all around, especially from up here and so on, but these are not covered by Gonzo either. 81mm mortar coming in though now, so some artillery play from Gonzo as well. And if I'm not completely wrong, those will be radio mortars. M4A1 coming in from the rear. The U-88 getting pushed back, whilst on the other side, more tanks rolling in. Shkodder holds the 1311 advantage. Rifle Lates getting hit. Tyran 2 though goes down to the Sherman. Tyran 1 over here, not really getting any damage done so far. Gets penetrated by the Sherman. Gets the kill though. Oh boy. One Tyran 2 falling here as well though. But if you trade 2 to 1, that's actually fine for the Hungarians, price-wise. But the Tyran 2 down here falls as well, and then that's not efficient anymore. Like, the Shermans cost you 70 points. You trade 2 to 1 with the Tyran 1s, that's fine-ish. But 3 to 1, not so much anymore. 40mm AT guns coming around, Nimrod in the rear. Still nothing in the south. And yes, radio mortar coming out. And these can be pretty nasty. Rifle leader and Sherman leader are around to give radio coverage onto all of these buildings up here. So these mortars will fire with precision. Up in the north, radio Sherman also giving coverage onto this Pak 40, which now will get hit. Still somewhat lucky so far, not getting to lose too many hit points. Whilst in the center, 81mm mortar coming on top of the Hujarok as well. Shkodder has to disengage. 1311 now for Gonzo, as both flags here in the center have been taken by the red forces. And M4A1 rolling closer. Mortar play so far pretty good. Trying once more to hit the Pak 40 in the north. Shkodder now disengaging, trying to get out of that. Whilst more infantry comes in, more Tyrans as well. And the off-map plane comes back for its second and last strike. This time it might even want to suicide to get a better off-map in, as afterwards it's not as important to keep this alive anymore. You just want to get a good off-map. Can Shkodder get that? Oh, doesn't get a circle of death onto the battlefield though. And this time this is 2-star veteran CAA. So that might be able to get the kill. Will be close. Commander right next to it. It seems like the Focke-Wulf once more will survive. It's a relatively fast off-map plane, so it's a bit harder to kill than some of the others. 1311 continues for Gonzo though, starting to catch up to Shkodder's slight advantage that was gained early on. Okay, Rifle Lates trying to come in here. And thanks to the commander, the leaders up here are even more efficient. So, quite a lot of units around with 3-star veterancy on Gonzo's side now. 12-12 is on. Ooh. Panzerschreck nearly getting a kill there onto the cavalry scouts, which themselves could get into range of the Turret 1 here with their bazooka, but don't have line of sight. Turret 2's coming around from the rear. Will try to engage the M4A1. For now, hitting the rifle lates. 40mm force back here as well. Radio mortar coming in. Turret 1 firing all around as well. Sherman not quite in range of the Turret 2s. Another rifle leader coming in. So a lot of veterancy here on the side of Gonzo. Brings in a Pak 40 as well to shoot down the road. And so far, advantage red. Turret 2's now in range of the M4A1 though. And they have a decent chance here of penetration. Both don't penetrate with the first couple of rounds though. Next shot does penetrate, but the Sherman gets one as well. Turret 2 though gets another shot. Bounces this time. And both Turrets fall to the Sherman. Turret 1 over here also falling. Engineer goes down though. At least to the Schwalose. But Gonzo is on the push. And there's not that many forces here left for Shkodder. Shkodder under heavy pressure once more. Jarok and Jarok MG42 though coming in for the north. And we have some Jagdpanzer 38Ts, aka Hetzers, on the battlefield for Shkodder as well. These outclass the Sherman, the normal Shermans, pretty well. But Gonzo has a unit that can deal with them on his side of the battlefield as well. The Sherman 76s have arrived for better penetration power, 130mm of penetration, and better range on the long ranges. Jarok coming in. Both of these tanks boasting 1750m range, so they can get into long firefights as well. 4 more Turret 2s coming up. Ooh, the Nimrod actually getting the kill on the Sherman there with its AP shells. 75mm of penetration on these. Clutch kill there. You don't want to lose the Nimrod here. You don't get too many of these. Another off-map vehicle coming in. Off-map plane still hasn't used its shot, so if that can ever come around, that still will be of use. 2 off-map vehicles now coming in though. And the unit concentration now is pretty high in the center, so off-map could do a good job here. Jarok's joining the Jagdpanzer 38T, so can Shkodder turn it around? Oof, big loss here now. Losing the Nimrod to the Sherman. Really not something you want to have happened. As the Air Force of Butler can be devastating if you don't have the AA to counter it. So that is quite nasty there. More Turret 2s moving forward though. Maxarts coming in, getting the flag. 1410 for Gonzo. 1 unit though goes down in transport at least. And 2 Jaroks will unload. A lot of elite infantry here fighting each other. A couple more units lost in transport. Something that doesn't happen too often to Gonzo usually. Whilst we see another one going down. Maybe a bit overeager here of trying to beat Shkodder quickly. Whilst Shkodder's reinforcements here now have arrived. 3 Turret 2s, 2 Jagdpanzers, 2 off-maps, and quite a lot of Fujaroks. And a double off-map on this position, okay. Wants to kill the stuff here really badly. Usually you spread out off-map. You don't see it too often to be double used. 105mm obviously not the most deadly one, but if you use 2 at the same spot, infantry in it should be deleted, and even Shermans will get close to dying there as well. Bujarok's over here though, under heavy fire. Sherman getting it pinned down. Rifle lates now coming in. Get the surrender. Second one is disengaging closer to the leader. 1410 for Gonzo continues. Bombing run. Oh no, off-map in the south. I guess that was the off-map plane here coming in. So Gonzo's forces over here under fire as well. Jarok MG42 will try to follow it up, but Gonzo already has the reinforcements needed here to most likely hold the line. 2 AA pieces, 2 Makassarts to try to hold against the Hujarok push. Meanwhile in the north, also a couple of reinforcements here for Shkodder. Good amount of infantry came in, but on the other side we have some cavalry scouts trying to penetrate into deeper areas of the map. Nearly in range of the Toldi. Toldi not having any HE shells, totally won. All it can do is use its Gebauer MG to try to pin down the cavalry scouts. So they could just run on top of it and kill it, but they're not doing that right now. First off map is down. Second one coming in now. Didn't deal too much damage. Jagdpanzer here has to be careful. Tyrann 2's already all down again. More Tyrann 1's coming in though. But not the greatest counter push so far here of Shkodder. At least brings it back to an 11-13. But cavalry scouts here getting forced back. MG42 Hujaroks will most likely go on to the hunt. Try to catch this completely and finish it off. Whilst the B-26 Marauder will come in for a bombing run. I'm not quite sure on what though. I guess on top of the two Hujaroks here, but question is, will it hit without line of sight? I doubt it. Whilst the Schwalos and the MG42 also stop the Maquisards from going too deep. Gonzo really trying to finish this game off right now. Loses a Sherman over here though, and the off-map keeps the units over here pinned back as well. Whilst the MG81, the mortar 81mm on Gonzo's side keeps on firing constantly. Rifle leaders using their sniper rifle to pin down the Hojarok Golyorsk. Jagdpanzer trying to get as many shots off as possible. Meanwhile, Tyrann 2's over here engaging some infantry. Next off-map, third off-map for both of these off-map vehicles coming in on top of this central position here. Sherman goes down. Tyrann 2's trying their best. Hitting infantry now as well. A lot of infantry caught in here. FFI rallies, for example, joining the whole thing. That's the 81mm. Now tries to get a mortar kill onto the Jagdpanzer. Already penetrated once by a Pak 40. So it could be successful. Tyrann 2 here on a long range engagement versus a Sherman. Not the engagement you want. Will get penetrated here. Has to be careful. Sherman will get another shot off. And that's the end of the Tyrann 2 there. Whilst the southern push though is actually having some success. Ju-88 also getting some bombs off. 25mm not quite able to stop it. So the Hujaroks here getting deep and putting a pressure onto Gonzo's southern flank whilst we're getting closer to C-phase. So if Gonzo wants to bring in bigger reinforcements down to the south, he has to do it within the next 2 minutes. After that, income is low. M1 guns with some really crucial kills though. If the number of infantry units here would have gone up from 4 to 6, that position would be way better for Shkodder, but the M1 gun still getting the snipe on 2 more infantry units, really important. 12 is back, Shkodder is slightly down, but slowly coming back into this central town. With heavy losses, but heavy losses on both sides. The recon unit in the north got hunted down. Gonzo not having an easy access to this part of the map just yet. Ju-88 coming in for the center. But there's so much AA by now. There's the 25mm and 2 M15s. And all of them, or most of them, getting some nice veterancy. So the Ju-88 here, under heavy fire, won't get its bombs dropped off and has to fear getting killed off here completely. 37mm trying its best, not quite getting the kill. Tyrann 2 engaging the rifle lates over here, getting some damage on top of it. Rifle lates under pressure. 12-12 is happening, whilst the Hujarok Golyorsk coming in the south. E47 will get some kill. Good hit there. Toldi versus M1 gun. Okay, Toldi 2 gets the kill. Toldi 2A moving up here as well. Maquisards under pressure. 13-11 for Gonzo again though, as this flag has been retaken. But now, with the M1 gun down, there's nothing to stop the Toldi 2As here right now. So yeah, Sherman needs to come in with the last big income phase. Meanwhile, Marauder tries to abuse the situation of no AA for Shkodder in the north, whilst the Maquisards try to push in as well. So they might get overwhelmed before that bomber arrives. Jarok MGs engaging them pretty well here. And since the nerf to Molotovs, this unit is not quite as scary as it once was. Marauder still getting its bombs off. Not quite sure if they are really hitting anything too well though. Well, I guess they do. One Hujarok gets eliminated, but Makassards are back out of this forest. 12-12 still going on here. And we are now in C phase. MG42s, Hujaroks, the last big investment of Shkodder, together with another Jagdpanzer. Both of the first two Jagdpanzers still alive. One of the 76 Shermans has fallen already, but all of the Turrets are dead as well. So the amount of attrition here in the center is quite insane for both sides. Off-maps are most likely out for Shkodder as well though, whilst the Hujaroks now will try to pressure in. Southern position, still good though. More reinforcements coming in. A T-gun this time not around to stop them. And the Taldis are penetrating deep. 25mm here, under fire. One already has fallen. If the second one falls, that means also that the bombers of Shkodder in the future will have an easier time coming in here. Goes down. Taldi will fall to the reinforcing 76 though. But as you can see, Makassar's really not that great, even if in building versus Hujaroks in light cover. They lose the firefight there. So the 76 has to come in to try to turn that around. And the J88 is using the situation without AA instantaneously to pin down some Makassards, not quite hitting them. But Hujarok Golyosk also disengaging away here from the Sherman 76. Toldi moving closer as well. And more Hujaroks coming up. 40mm might want to move up a bit further as well. 12-12 once more. Shkodder equalizes and gets ahead here now with the Hujarok push. Not that many armored vehicles around here for Gonzo anymore. Actually more Jagdpanzers than Shermans at the moment. Only 2 Shermans. Infantry-wise, I would say it's pretty equal. Mortars still around on Gonzo's side though, so some artillery here, whilst the off-map of Shkodder has been emptied. And in the north, Gonzo is slow pushing on top of this hill. Nothing to really deal with the Shermans right in position there. Pak 40 is still around, but not in position. Maybe could have moved around a bit better to try to get a kill on these. So the Shermans are approaching now. Yeah, Pak 40 now gets brought into a better position to at least kill the Shermans if they come up over here. And the Marauder bombers keep on flying attacks down here. But that is mirrored by Ju-88s permanently coming in here down in the south. And Gonzo now desperately tries to hold the line here. Makassards and rallies coming in. Sherman currently on its own on the front line, but at least got the kill onto the Toldi. So it's only infantry for Shkodder right now here. But a single Sherman 76 can't do much against that. And the infantry of Shkodder down here outclasses the French forces of Gonzo by a hell of a lot. Hujaroks, MG42 moving in. Makassards on the long ranges can't do anything. And yeah, even in CQC, because the Hujaroks have so much manpower, they have a somewhat tough time. Center, Shkodder slowly pushing. 2 Charits coming in as well, who give some leaders here. Gonzo still slightly ahead and also on the push in the north. Killed off the infantry here. Marauder doing a good job. Poldi trying to stop the Makassards. Infantry for Shkodder on the way to at least try to get back to this flag. But the Shermans and the Makassards are doing a solid job here. Another Makassard coming up. Question is, can Gonzo salvage the position in the south? Losing another Makassard in transport here. Hujaroks doing a good job from all around. And the Makassards finally might get a kill onto the Golyosk over here. Though I'm not quite sure. Both on super low reload time now that they lost a lot of manpower in these squadrons. Which is kind of weird. And the Golyosk go down in the end. 40M gets a shot off onto the Makassards here. As the Hujarok continue moving forward. Golyosk over here, also under heavy fire. Shermans, still 2 of them alive. And another Pak 40 to try to hunt down Jagdpanzers. And one of the Jagdpanzers did bite the dust over here. So good kill for Gonzo there. But the 1410 now has equalized the score again. Pak 40 over here also got a kill onto a normal Sherman. Now under fire by a bit of infantry. 76 moving in as well. Poldi 2 has fallen. Ju-88 tries to get some recon knowledge. 81mm mortar silenced for a bit. But yeah, 76 German trying to get a surrender here on to some Hujarok. Won't be able to follow them up though, and the Hujaroks in the south at the same time annihilate Gonzo's infantry. So Shkodder actually closing in on a 59 here. Really the Sherman the only thing that can fight the forces of Shkodder somewhat effectively, but a Pak 40 is around, so it has to be really careful around here now as well, as the infantry is just melting. Shkodder really playing to the advantage of his division down there, whilst the Marauder continuously arrives in this northern part of this map, hitting Shkodder's forces there time and again to try to equalize for Gonzo. But advantage now on the side of Shkodder. Jagdpanzer 38T also still some around. One coming in the north, and that could be pretty good against the Sherman 76. Hujaroks getting pinned down. 1311 though is on. And the Makassarts down here get pushed back heavily. Hujaroks easily overwhelming them. Maybe could even try to pressure this flag over here. 1311 continues though for now. At the same time, the Pak 40 for Gonzo over here paid off. Got the kill onto another Jagdpanzer, so now only 2 Jagdpanzers on the battlefield for Shkodder. So some nice kills here for Gonzo in the center. Brings it back to a 12-12 at least, with the flag in the north. And some nice counter pushes. And this really also is a nice show of why these two players are in Division 1. Each knowing how to press advantages. Like Gonzo with the Marauders in the north. Shkodder with abusing the veterancy of, or the firepower of his infantry in the south. And also both sides playing all of the map at the same time. There's action in the center, there's action in the north, there's action in the south. And still both able to hold the line at least somewhat on all of these positions. Getting some micro everywhere, getting some reinforcements where needed everywhere as well. So really high level game here by those two. And the 1311 is ticking down Gonzo right now. Is Shkodder making it work once more? Is it another 1-1 between these two in a group phase of League? J88 bites the dust. 1311 for Shkodder. Gonzo equalizes it to a 12-12 though, and brings on some of his own good bombers. P-47 coming in, and the Nimrod is a bit far back. It's only one of them. So AA on Shkodder's side, not quite convincing here in the center, and the P-47 gets the bomb off, so Gonzo might go up to a 13-11. This game might go for a long grind here. Sherman in the center, repositioning. Has to disengage away from the Jagdpanzer though, as that comes closer into the town. Pak 40 on the hunt for that one though. So really interesting fights here. Really interesting fights on both sides. But no reinforcements for Gonzo lately in the south. And that most likely spells the end for this position. And maybe even the end for the spawn down here. 40M might go for the hunt onto the Sherman 76. Hujaroks trying to get the front line down to the spawn. And then Gonzo would have, if Gonzo ever will try to retake the south, bring reinforcements from over here. And if that doesn't happen, then Shkodder has a big advantage in general. Reinforcements for Gonzo rather come in the north, but giving up 2 flags in the south permanently means that you have to win relatively hard elsewhere. For example, in the center. So the Pak 40 needs to get the kill onto the Jagdpanzer here to help out with that situation. I'm surprised that we don't see the Shabas closer to the front line, by the way, as they at least have one MG that they could use to help out against the rifle lates. Hujaroks versus rifle lates here as well. Trallos are not allowed to fire. Not quite sure why, whilst one of the few remaining Tyrants has entered the battlefield for Shkodder. 1311 now. Southern flag, though not falling quite yet. FFI saboteurs coming in here. And we'll get the surrender on the Hujarok actually. Bomber not quite hitting the 76. And in the center, Pak 40 has found the Jagdpanzer. Ooh, and that might be a big loss. Goes down, no tanks outside of that one Tyran in the center anymore for Shkodder. Meaning that The two Shermans here in the center now have a relatively open playing field for Gonzo. No meaningful AT guns around either here. J88 though, at least getting the pin down on the rifle lates here. Not quite getting the kill. Marauders coming in the south. Another Jagdpanzer here for hunting down the 76. North, big engagement. Gonzo coming in with some Makassards. Jagdpanzer is still in the way. Pak 40 here has fallen though. And the Shermans are outnumbering the Jagdpanzer. So if the Sherman A1 maybe can take the shots, and then the 76 can kill off the Jagdpanzer, that would be great. M1 gun can do the job as well. That's what Gonzo will bring up. And with the flex taken over here, Gonzo also up on the 1311 here. 31 minutes played. A really cool game here. Not gonna lie, this is an impressive skill show of both of these players. Whoever wins here, both players are doing an amazing job in this game. 14-10 here for Gonzo. And this is quite the intense match. Jark getting hit up here in the north. Another one trying to counterattack through the forest. Will engage the Makassards outside of 100 meter range, which is really great for the Hujarok and really bad for the Makassards. Have to run there. Outside of 100 meter range, they're outgunned in MGs and especially outgunned in rifles. 8 K98s versus 13 FG31s, and FG31s have more damage than the K98, so you lose quite heavily on that. Also starting on lower hit points. Ujarok's trying to come in here to retake this position. M15 now being used as anti-infantry. Well, that's the Focke-Wulf fighter bomber. Will try to get this flag back for Shkodder. Still having the slight advantage here, but has to get back to a 12-12 to keep it alive. Gets the rifle lates at least with the Focke-Wulf. Focke-Wulf also should be able to get out, but we're still 18 minutes away from the time limit. Jagdpanzer falls to the 76, and the anti-tank gun's not away in the position to retaliate. 3 Makassards also coming in. Marauder bomber did a good job there helping out. Only 2 Hujaroks at full hit points left around here. And that is not great for Shkodder right now. Nimrod trying to help out against the Marauder. Not gonna get the kill on this distance though. But Hujaroks, ooh, is Gonzo watching this? Oh, that might be a great sneak here by Shkodder. Sherman without infantry in front of it anymore. And Shkodder seems to get the AT grenade on top of it. Gonzo not watching right here. And gets the kill on one of the Shermans. The other Sherman has fallen to the Turan or something similar as well. So Gonzo out of Shermans right now in the center. Brings in a reinforcement Sherman, but that is really expensive at this stage of the game. So great take there by Shkodder. Took out the Pak 40 down here as well. So the Turan, the only tank at the front line right now. And the M15 caught out of position here as well. Gets transmission destroyed. Can't disengage anymore. Gets killed off. Shkodder taking out some AA in the center. Other M15 out of ammo. So the bomber advantage that Shkodder has in this game, the Ju-88s, finally can be used in the center again. At the same time though, Gonzo's bombers doing a good job in the north as well. Jagdpanzer going down. It's such a back and forth. Whenever one side gets an advantage, the other one gets another one elsewhere as well. What the hell is this game? Such a great show of skill on both sides here. Turan 1, trying to get some transport snipes, won't get it, but will still be able to at least fire its MG on some infantry units. But against the Sherman, it will be a tough time. Makassards under fire. Hujaroks here in good spots. The one over here at least recapturing the flag, keeping Gonzo from the 59. Gonzo still on the tick though. 15 minutes to go. 40M still trying to find a spot to shoot at this Sherman 76, but this Sherman 76 did so much work here for Gonzo in the south, killing off quite a big amount of infantry, already shooting 20 HE shells, already nearly using up all its 50 cal ammo as well, and also killing off the Jagdpanzer together with the Marauder bomber. Really important kills there. Meanwhile, Turan over here trying to get the flag here. Great cutoff of this position. Great usage of the frontline mechanic here by Shkodder. Will burst this bubble. So even though the rifle late will stay around here, it won't keep the flag unless this frontline over here can reconnect to it. Turan 1 also on the hunt for the rifle. Shkodder equalizing the points, but currently Gonzo just by a sliver of ahead here. Such a small advantage here for Gonzo. But Shkodder is the one on the tick now. Getting the flag back over here. Getting the flag over here. Still trying to push back in the north. One of the few remaining Jagdpanzers coming in here. The only one on the battlefield right now. And might be the last one in the arsenal. I think he lost 5 already. And I would guess he only has 6. So that one needs to do a lot of work here in the north, as Gonzo is rushing in with a lot of forces here as well. But as I said, center is open for AA for the bombardment now. So if air for Shkodder is still around, the center could be bombed now, which is a big change to earlier, where 2 M15s here were having this on lockdown. A single 25mm doesn't quite do that. Supply truck will try to get up to the M15. Nimrod actually being used frontally now as well. 12-12 is still on. Sherman trying to engage onto the Turan 1 here. Will it be able to do so? Actually, relatively dangerous engagement on this close over range. Shkodder, though, not wanting to take that fight. Tries to get away. Meanwhile, Marauder bombers keep doing their job around in the north. But the units of Gonzo here have fallen, so even if the Hujara Golyorsk fall, the flag will stay in Shkodder's hand. 13-11 though, as the flag over here gets back into Gonzo's hands, but the Turan 1 is disengaging time and again away from the Sherman. Big cat and mouse game here around this flag. Impressive micro from both sides, whilst they still have to do other stuff, like calling in the Sherman 76 here. On the other side, 40M coming in for the south, coming in for the kill on the Sherman. That would be pretty cool if the Turan would stay alive and the Pak 40 comes around in time to save it here. Hujara Golyorsk versus Makassards. Once more the range advantage for Shkodder here. So that Makassard will get pinned down. And the infantry advantage starts to show here in the center as well for Shkodder. A lot of rallies being killed off in the offense. Only French infantry left on Gonzo's side. No more rifle lates which can compete with the Hujaraks. And the center starts falling here for Gonzo. 14-10 for Shkodder. Turan 1 gets penetrated once. Does disengage before it gets killed off though. And somehow creates the front line once more here. So the flag falls into Shkodder's hands as well. South not breakable right now for Shkodder. North at the same time under heavy pressure by Gonzo though. Sherman's pushing through here. Jagdpanzer has fallen. So Gonzo most likely able to take this territory. And the Hujaraks here maybe want to retreat into the deep forest to just keep the front line up here so that the front line doesn't push onto this flag as well. We might have to give up the position up here. Wolf fighter bomber at least gets the Sapur kill. Will get back home. Will reload relatively quickly. But on the other side, the Marauders and P-47s are around. This time, though, the P-47 not quite able to get the kill. At the same time, though, Turan 1 falls. But the Pak-40 at least gets the retaliation kill. Comes in at least in time for that. Whilst the Sherman 76 is in a dangerous spot here. Has to be careful to not run into that Pak-40. And as I said, the infantry of Shkodder now outclasses the one of Gonzo quite heavily here. And now, finally, the 105mm are on the hunt as well. The off-map vehicles, the Chavas, just using their 1 MG. No infantry AT here on the side of Gonzo. No AT guns around. The only thing that can deal with armored vehicles is this Sherman 76 right now. So that is a quite good scenario for these two to be used, as they affect the front line. They can't capture flags for you. Meanwhile, Marauder trying to come around for a bombing run, but flies into the Nimrod now. So I'm not too sure how effective that is. And the Shaba will most likely reconnect the front line down here, will give Shkodder another flag. Meanwhile, Pak 40 trying to help out against the rifle lates here as well. And that front line here should connect again, cutting this position off. Shaba getting some shots off. Is the front line reconnecting here quickly enough? Ooh, yeah, it is. Okay. Who will get this flag? Front line not always completely easy to predict. 13-11 is going on. Still one of the coolest things in Steel Division though. This whole frontline system. Watching this thing that nearly feels like it's alive move around and snake around. Always quite nice. Okay. Shkodder has lost his armored units in the north. but has killed off enough infantry that that Gonzo can't push easily deeper. The infantry advantage really starting to show here, time and again, with Gonzo killing off the armored units, but not having the infantry for an easy push. And the Focke-Wulf fighter bomber kills off one of the few remaining American infantry units on the field, or maybe the last remaining American infantry on the field, giving Gonzo the flag over here. P-47 coming in from the other side. If the Huzaroks don't disengage, the P-47 will wipe them out, and that would mean that Gonzo at least will get this flag. But the Nimrod is doing its job. Pretty dangerous here. Losing that would be quite devastating for Shkodder as well. And the Sherman 76s might try to do that, but currently Shkodder is getting the tick, is in an advantage now compared to Gonzo, and only 8 minutes 30 to play. So in a pretty nice and comfortable spot right now. Just has to keep it up. Has to keep it up and keep Gonzo from taking within the next 8 minutes. Really intensive game from both sides. Makassar's under heavy fire. 105mm off-map vehicle doing its job with the Gebauer. Turret 1 going down in the rear here though. Puck 40 able to retaliate. So once more, only a couple of tanks around here. The last couple of reserves being mobilized here by Shkodder. The last couple of Turan 2s rolling in. Ujarok Goliorsk also coming in for the southern push. Sherman 76 coming in for Gonzo. Will try to retake this flag. Will try to at least get it closer to a 12-12 so that then he doesn't have to push too much to get this game back under control. Currently around like 3 minutes down, I would say. So we have 7 minutes 30. Gonzo has to consider what to take to get the flag. Good kill here. Down in the south. Pack 40 is down. But the reinforcements of Shkodder might just arrive in time to prevent a breakthrough from Gonzo in the south. Turan 2 and 3 Huzaroks. Pretty good investment here, I would say. But Gonzo gets the flag back here. 11-13. Northern side, still hard to push. 4 Huzaroks and a 40, Pack 40. Pretty good setup there. So, 13-11 keeps on taking. Is Shkodder doing it once more? Is he once more taking a map of Gonzo in the group stage? Hujarok gets the kill onto the M8. One Hujarok Golios getting killed in transport, but the infantry over here shouldn't be good enough to push on this flag, so that's not a flag that Gonzo can take. Can he take one in the center? A lot of infantry still around here for Shkodder, but most of them are relatively heavily damaged. 2 Shermans around for Gonzo. 3 Shermans around for Gonzo, actually. Ooh, the Sherman over here, though, going maybe a bit too deep. Huzaroks can use their AT grenade there. And they will do so. So 1 Sherman down. But Gonzo has to take flags soon. So he needs to be a bit reckless. Meanwhile, at the same time, though, Shkodder is actually the one taking a flag right now. With a deep push with the Turan 2. Abusing the lack of AT guns on on Gonzo's side. To get some flag grab there. And pushing in the south as well. And even getting up close to a 15-9 there. Okay, only a 14-10. But Gonzo only having 6 minutes now. And already being quite a bit down. It will be really tough. Gets the flag back in the south. Gets some units in here. Turan 2 is around as a defensive unit though. And the Turan 2 up here is nasty. Makassar's trying to push in over here. But only 2 Sherman 76s around. Turan just needs to keep disengaging here. Doesn't want to be caught by this Sherman 76 in a direct engagement. Sherman 76 gets the penetration. And the 25mm actually gets the kill. So that's the 12-12 equalizer at least. But now only 5 minutes remaining to get the take. 13-11 now for Gonzo. Question is the advantage of our player in blue already too high? Turan 2 disengages here a bit. Also, can a flag maybe be retaken? Sherman 76 pushing through the open. Focke-Wulf fighter bomber at the meantime though. Coming in over here. Will get the Makassars most likely. At least get the pin down. And the Huzaroks maybe even able to run onto this Sherman or cut it off from the front line. Shkodder trying to go for a flag in the north. Huzaroks also could kill this off actually. Nimrod and Hujarok easily could push back the Makassards. They're not too strong. And the Sherman's quite out of position right now. Sherman 76 also fighting versus a Pack 40 and will lose that fight. That leaves a hole open here for Shkodder to poke in once more as well. And Gonzo needs to keep the tick up. If he keeps the tick up, he might win this game. I'm pretty sure he will win this game if he takes the next 4 minutes constantly. But Shkodder only needs the 12-12 for a couple more seconds. Or like 1 minute or so. And he's getting pretty close again. The Sherman 76 loss here is big for Gonzo. Tries to break the south again with the Marauder. Tyran 2 though, trying to disengage, trying to not get hit by that. Hujarok and Hujarok Goliosk should retreat into defensive positions. M10 tank destroyer around here. But the center flag is close to falling. M15 trying its best to keep the Hujaroks at bay. Another Hujarok coming from another angle though, getting really close here. And if this M15 moves away, the flag will go into the hands of Shkodder. Will at least stay alive here most likely, but the flag will fall to Shkodder. 12-12 is ticking. Hujarok's also coming in the north, trying to get on top of this Makassards. And Hujarok Goliosk also running deep in here. And no reinforcements in the center for Gonzo. So keeping this here up ain't easy. Southern flag though, gets killed. Tyran 2 got caught. So 13-11 once more is up. But Shkodder closing in on some more flags. Gets the 12-12 here for a second again. Every second here really counts now. Gonzo up on 13-11. But this flag here will fall eventually as well. And then I don't think Gonzo has another flag to capture easily right now. We'll try to break through here. Maybe a 59 here could seal the deal. But I don't quite see Gonzo overtaking that within the next 2.5 minutes. And it's even Shkodder now on 13-11, keeping the tick up. Now back to a 12-12. But getting 1 more second advantage there to Gonzo just by ticking. And now back to a 12-12, which is also, with every second that ticks by, a good thing for Shkodder. Is Gonzo down here? Gets the flag back here. But Hujarok's dangerous for the 76. Might lose this flag as well. And then it's Shkodder once more on the 13-11. Northern flags can't be pushed deeper either. Infantry too low. Hujarok's too good against that. And the 13-11 is back up. German down in the south, trying to push onto the Pack 40, trying to go for the 59, but more Hujarok's already rolling in. Shkodder predicting this situation. So 59, highly unlikely now as well, and you need a 59 here now as Gonzo at this stage to get that back. Bombing kill onto the Makassards as well. So the Sherman 76 has to be careful how it moves, so it doesn't give Shkodder back the flag. 13-11 re-established by Gonzo, but the 59 is needed right now, right here. And I don't think Gonzo will be able to achieve that. 40mm here. Can use its heat shells to deal with this 105mm Sherman as well. Hujarok's might even get in range for the AT grenade. And there flies it. 105mm Sherman down. Hujarok Goliosk get killed off, but the 59 won't be achieved here within a minute. And with that, most likely, Shkodder getting the W. Sherman 76 also getting pushed back over here. 12-12 should be re-established. Yes, Gonzo not taking anymore. And Shkodder once more in a clutch game here will take a map off of Gonzo. The tradition continues. And it's nice. It's a nice tradition. Pack 40 getting a kill on Makassards. Like, these two give us good games. And really shows us why Shkodder is a Division 1 player. We have such a great play here around Lovash on this map. Gonzo once more up to a 13-11, but it doesn't matter. The advantage of Shkodder is too high, and Gonzo surrenders. And GGVP to both players in this game. Gonzo in the end up in points, but Shkodder got the tick long enough to get the W here. In a really, really clutch game that was super entertaining to watch. I wish I wouldn't be a bit sick and my voice would be better, but I hope you enjoyed this as well. Like, that was an insanely good match. Not gonna lie, the back and forth was great.